Hello, Friday, June 14th. It is the Vindex. Today I'm going to cover some different things. I'm going to give you dealer guys some transport tips that we have found successful. Market's moving around. Vindex went up a lot this week, but remember, this is an internal number for us too. So it might be a little weighted. Yes, the market was better this week, but we got our ass kicked so bad on some real heavy cars last week that it brought us down. 24 Rovers and G-Wagons and Cullinans, 24. Next to new, it will kick your ass. I keep saying it. I say it to my guys. I tell y'all. I don't know who else to tell. Next to new cars, MMR's here, value's here. If you bid them here, you're going to get hurt. If you bid them here, you're going to get hurt. You got to bid them like here. So I think that my Vindex number's a little false, because we took so much bath on big cars last week that we cleaned out. So we had a better week this week. But the action in the lanes was better for sure. For sure it was. The transport thing I want to tell you about. There's a lot of fraud in the system. Transporters stealing cars, internal setups. I've seen it on the dealer boards. A lot of you guys have felt it. It sucks. Theft by false pretense insurance is tricky, because if the transporter takes the car off the truck and he puts it next to his trailer, and then he goes up to get the next car, but his friend comes and grabs the car that he left the keys in and he takes off, whose fault is it? Is it theft by false pretense? No. It's your fault, unless he has insurance. And if he gave you a fake certificate, then he doesn't have insurance. Try to get a cargo claim against Progressive. I mean, you need like OJ's legal defense team to get it paid. We move so many cars, as you know, and a lot of you guys do too. It's a real problem. We use a company, and I'm not plugging anybody. They have no idea I'm plugging them, and there's other companies out there. But the structure here is what I'm trying to sell. Saferwatch.com is who we use. And our rules for hiring a transporter off of Central Dispatch is they've had to be on there for 90 days or we won't hire them. They've had to have 25 good ratings or we won't hire them. And they have to provide their insurance. If Safer Watch does not have a profile for them, then they have to send it to us, their certificates, and we physically call the insurance company to make sure it's valid. But remember, that doesn't mean it's valid a week from now, and that doesn't mean it's valid 2 weeks from now or 6 months from now. And what I pay this company $300 and something a month is to keep up with their insurance, so that when we go put a deal into Safer Watch, which we do all the deals, to see how their checklist is. It's like pulling their credit. It's like pulling transporter's credit. Then if their insurance is lapped, it will flag us and we'll turn the load down. Because I'm tired of losing money to stolen cars and transporters tearing up my cars and not having insurance. So, we pay a little bit of money on that. We go through some other processes. So hopefully that helps some of you guys out. This week, we've been getting ready for this classic thing. Let me tell you this classic story. Here's the whole classic car story. So, I don't know, like you guys, you probably played with Hot Wheels and had the Matchbox garage and had it in your blood and jacked with them in high school like I did. And I've always had a thing for these cars, but I never really knew what they were worth. We've all grabbed them. We run them through the auction. They don't bring any money. We have to retail out of them. We wind up retailing them for a loss. But it was so pretty the day we got it. We were so excited. And I'm like, I've got to figure this market out because I want to trade this market. I'm attracted to these cars, and they make life entertaining. The margins are good on them too, if you know what you're doing. And I still don't know what I'm doing. I'd say I'm 65% of the way there. But there's a lot to learn. I've gone to every classic damn collector sale around the country trying to figure out this X's and O's and what works and what not. But this week we're having a collector sale. We're going full balls in. We're going to Give Me the VIN, the classic and collector world. And we're launching a new site. Right now it's live. It's called GMTV-CC. Give Me the VIN, classic and collectors. Partnered with some good people. Hired means that they're on salary. I do partnership deals with people, and I've got some real pros on the team, and we already had some guys on the team that are good at it, and I'm okay at it too. But we've got a good group around the country that knows what these cars are worth, and that's where these bids are going to them, and we're buying cars. I'll tell you a funny story. If you guys dealers, y'all have some classic and collectible cars you want to throw in here, please do. We'll give it a shot. We had one come through the normal system. They hit it at $25,000. It's a Bel Air. Guy wanted $64,000 for it. Green Bel Air, there it is, two-tone, and one of my normal buyers like $25,000, and I'm like, that car's worth more than that because look how this thing's built. Look at the gauges, look at the dash, look at the paint, look at the motor. I don't know if you guys ever done this, but that's not cheap to do something that clean and tight. It's very expensive. I'm no 57 Bel Air or 57 Chevy or whatever. It might even be a 57, it might be 56. I don't know, but I'm like, I just put $40,000 in it. I said, the bitch is high and tight. It looks good. It's built right. I talked to the guy that built it, and I broke my own rule. That car will not be in our classic and collector sale this week because everybody told me I screwed up. I paid too much. That car got checked into Mannheim, Charlotte. We were going to postcard it into the collector sale, and had a dealer jump all over it. They wouldn't leave us alone. Offered us a little bit of profit, and I popped it off the block because I was scared. You're scared of what you don't know the values of. And I talked to a couple people. It sounded like I paid $5,000 too much for it, but my gut was telling me this car's okay based on some other cars I'd seen sell at Barrett and Mecum. Not the crazy ones, but just solid ones like this in some other places. So, a good one always works. It doesn't always work, but that one did. So I feel like I'm smart this week on that one. And then there's this one. Jeremy, you're going to be so mad at me, dude. I swore to you I was buying this car for me, personally. This was my resto mod. I finally wanted a good one. I was not going to sell it for a while. I lied. I didn't lie intentionally. Look at that motor, dude. ZL1 motor in that car. It's got the TMI seats. It's got the this. It's got the that. The interior's just badass. I drove it about 100 miles on Monday once it came in from Oregon. And I'm handicap recovered, right? My feet don't work properly. And stick shift is not my bag. If that car had an automatic in it, I would not let it go. I would do exactly what I said. But I overkicked my coverage, and I just can't drive it right. That car accelerates like a Dodge Demon. It is ridiculously. When it gets in the power band, your face just starts going like this. But these badass resto mods just really get me off. I enjoy them. That car's going to be for sale in the lane on next Wednesday at the Classic and Collectible sale. And Give Me the VIN. We got this SLR. It's pretty cool. Another one we stuck our neck out on. This silver Mercedes SLR, but it's got 7,000 miles on it. I think one owner, literally, Beverly Hills, California. They dropped it in on our buy center in Anaheim, and I saw one sell at Mannheim today for like $295. And again, I got out there on this one. I thought I'd screwed up, but then I saw that sell. I'm like, oh, maybe we'll get lucky and it'll be okay. Luck is not how you make money in this business, but buying good cars is, and being close. So we do that a lot. But I can tell you what not to do it on. Rolls-Royce Cullinans 2024. McLarens, new ones. Don't do it. These next to new cars, man, they'll bust your ass. It is no fun. But here's some of the cars that we have lined up for next Wednesday, June 19th, in the Classic and Collector sale. I've got some of those. No, go back. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Okay, that's the top half of it. Those were all bought off of individuals. That Ram Air, it's got 8,000 miles or 6,000 miles. One of the Alabama barn find cars, the 97 Corvette, first gen, I think it has 80 miles on it. I got from that lady. If you Google Bama Barn Find GMTV, you'll see it. And then what's the next slide? Oh, that 454 SS, it's got 100 miles on it. Or 90 miles. No. It's got 19 miles on it. Still in plastic. It came from that Bama Barn Find. I'm just letting some of these cars go piece by piece. Not selling them all at once. That Resto Mod Ford F100, it's got a LS1 color coated. It's badass. There's some good cars in there. If you're looking for some good resto mods, we will have them next. Is that I'm jumping around. That Chevelle. That Chevelle is a one owner, all original. I know the guy that bought it new. I bought it from him directly. the one thing when you're dealing with these, man, everybody cries. I mean, golly, you think you're adopting their dog or their baby or something. They are not normal car deals at all. They want to make sure it goes to a good home. And oh my God, and are you going to sell it? Oh my God, who's going to buy it? I'm like, dude, I am a car dealer. Aren't you going to put it in your collection? Yeah, I will. Maybe. If I like it a lot. And some of them stay. I've had a couple, about 40 cars for a year. But, I'm a car dealer. I'm going to keep the cars that I think will go up in value for a long time. And I'm going to sell the cars that I think are, that aren't, I don't have endless money or endless place to park them. So I've got to sell some of them. That 454 SS with 19 miles on it, I had a guy tell me, you can't sell this car. You're crazy. This car's going to go to $200,000. All right, somebody buy it. Sit on it. Let it go to $200,000. I mean, when it's time. I don't have the money or the patience to sit on everything forever. But I do like them, and I do like to keep them for a little bit. And there are about 5 of them that I'm going to keep for a long time. And I'm looking for more. But if you do have an automatic badass resto mod, I'd like to have a good one for myself. That $100,000 or that $150,000 that won't break down. Air conditioning. Air conditioning on these cars is a big deal. You forget to ask, does it have air? Air's a big deal. But anyway, I hope that helps. I think, let me see in my notes here if I had anything else I want to talk about. We covered the transports. We covered EVs suck. Ford screwed their dealers. They made them spend money on EV mandate, and they threatened to unford them on the EV sector if they didn't spend all this money. And now Ford yanked back and said, we're not even going to do it. And we'll pay you back somehow for the money that you invested. The EV thing's an absolute bust. It's like McCarthyism in the Red Scare. Hyundai's selling cars through Amazon. They're still having to pay for them at the dealership, which is helpful. So maybe it's just a lead generator, but it's still weird that they're going to price and sell cars on Amazon. I don't know about all that. And the insurance scams, we covered that. Market's up this week. I don't know why. I think MMR just came down enough that now you get MMR on some stuff again. It's been a bitch. People's money's been getting weird too. Good old Joe that you always trust his check. I don't know. Safer watch. I wish they had a safer watch for that. We've been chasing money and hearing stories a little more than the norm, which tells you the times that we're in. This one guy that came to work for us to buy with us, he was a successful wholesaler on his own. He told me a story. We've all been there. But he's sitting in I won't say what city, but he's sitting at a red light, and the lady at the Ford store that has all that he's been buying from is like, hey, are you going to get by and bring me that check? He's like, yeah, man, I'm out of town right now. I know I've got that check for $100,000. I need to get over there and get it to you. And as soon as I get back in town, I'll bring it on Monday. And I think this was Thursday or Friday. And she's like, well, I'm sitting behind you at the red light right now. That's you. I'm on the phone with you. And he's like, yes, ma'am, I lied. I got to wait and get a deposit in the bank so I can make the check good. And that's just the way the business goes when things are tough. And even when things are good. It's a very cash-intensive business. And that's why I've just been saving my money for decades. I mean, there was times when, we lived in a shitty little house and, my wife's like, why don't we get a better house? I'm like, because we need cash. We need cash in the system. I have to have enough cash in this thing to fulfill my dream and turn this company into what I want it to be. So we just had to hoard and hoard and hoard. And we had great times during COVID and everybody else did too. But it just takes so much damn money to run one of these things. And I can tell you that banks don't like what we do. There's no car, there's no title, there's a payoff, there's no asset. You can UCC, but it's not the easiest transaction to get floor plan or inventory financing on. So it's a cashy deal. So, watch your money and make sure the credit that you're giving to people is the right decision for you at that time. And unfortunately, when things get tight, you can't trust everybody because it gets tough and you'll wind up getting your ass burned. And if they bankrupt on you, you're screwed. So, our average transaction is $33,000 a car. So 4 cars, it's a lot of money. Got to be careful. And there's some stores that will just throw money at, front load them. because they're so healthy. But unfortunately, the ones that aren't healthy is the one that we have to play. I need my title, I need my car before you can get your money. Guns, blah 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 blah, and those are important credit decisions to make in wholesale transfers. Or if it's real bad, you just have to post it through OVE and let them click down so that Mannheim acts as the escrow agent, for lack of a better term, to protect you. But there's some tips. I hope it helps. Love to see you in the lane next Wednesday. And if you have a classic or collectible to sell, go to GMTV. It's just GMTVCC. Give me the VIN, classic and collectible. I know that's wordy and a mouthful, but GMTVCC is where to go for that, and tell people about it, because there's, going to Meekum and going to Barrett. I've done it all in the past 12 months. I've really been studying this space heavily. It's a pain in the ass. I'm not knocking those guys. I'm just telling you, it's a pain in the ass. They won't make payoffs. You got to have your title there. You got to buy your number. You got to set a reserve that's within reach, or if you go no reserve, it might get sold short and this and that. So I'm trying to disrupt is a strong word, but really get in the middle of that business and do with the CNC business the same thing we did with the exotic business and the luxury business and then the mainstream business. So it's a heavier learning curve because there's so many damn variables. How was it built? Who built it? When was it painted? When was it restored? How old is this restoration? Well, it won the blue ribbon at the Sonic Drive-In Car Show in 1988. Right, 88. Right, so it was restored in 85. That's 2024, dog. That's, these cars are exempt after 20 years. The restos don't last that long either. And then the taste change. And the LS motor is a big deal. And the LT motor is a big deal. And the supercharger is a big deal. And the suspension and the coilovers and the kind of seats you do. And the steering mechanisms. And does the bitch have air? Vintage Air is who we've been putting in our cars, and it's cost about $6,000. I think the package is about $4,500. Figure it's, I don't know, $15,000, depending on who you use. $1,000, $1,500, $2,000 to get it installed. Stuff works like a champ. Vintage Air is a good product that we've been putting in some cars. All right, we do the radio show in the morning, of course. 8 a.m. Central, 7 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. West Coast, California. How the hell are you? Did I show them the building, how serious I am about this damn classic and collectible crap? To focus on this and change the culture of this classic and collectible deal, I found an old building. It was an old Ford dealership, and I've restored it. And that is the GMTV garage, and that houses the classic and collectible energy and brain space. So that because it's just a different culture, man. I mean, these people want their car is special and everything's different, and a normal buyer can't handle it. So I'm dedicated enough to this that I've invested and built this thing in this town, and I've got more to tell you about all that. I don't want you to think I'm lost my mind and going crazy, because if I really tell you what I'm working on, you'll think I've gone batshit crazy. And every once in a while I check myself and I'm like, I think I did go batshit crazy. I hope this works. But I think I'm, hopefully, for you car enthusiasts, building a place in the hill country in Texas, a little town that will be Sturgis meets Lukenbach. It's kind of a bike and cars and coffee vibe. It's Radiator Springs is what it is. That never that is always moving. It's always going. And it's in Walnut Springs, Texas. I was like, shit, it's already named right, man. I mean, Walnut Springs, how cute is that? It is 2 blocks of old buildings that looks like the set of Blazing Saddles, like Rock Ridge, and there's 5 bars in it. Like, this is perfect. This is the place to do it. And so that's what we're working on, and that's where GMTV Garage is, and that's where our classic and collector mind trust, for lack of a better term, is. And it's kind of like what Cunningham, and when we started deciding we were really going to get in the exotic and Lux business in Nashville, oddly enough, Nashville, Tennessee. Not even Nashville. Shit is, what's that place called? Mount Juliet, Lebanon? That's where our Lux heart is. GMTV Lux. So you got to, when you specialize in this weird stuff, you really have to put people together that know it and bleed it and smell it and they're not normal car buyers. They're into that stuff. And so that's what we're doing with these classic collectibles, muscle cars, resto mods, all that shit. This Camaro. One more thing. If you made it this far, you're a real car geek. I posted this somewhere, I think on Facebook, but nobody's really answered me. So this was part of that Alabama barn find. DeTore, one of our buyers, was walking through the garage here out in Walnut, and he said, dude, that thing's got marker lights on the fender. Like a Cadillac, in the 70s, had those marker lights on the fenders. And this one has power windows, but it's a big block car. And then it's got an automatic, so it's a unicorn. And I don't really know what it's worth. Out of that group of Alabama barn find cars, this car is worth more money because of the way it's built. But I really don't know what I've got, but I think I've got something really special. And thank God Almighty, because the money I've spent getting all those 25 cars running and straightened out from being sitting in a warehouse or barn or whatever the hell you want to call it for 25, 35. I mean, I think the lowest mile car we have that's the oldest is a 71 Vet that has 1,200 miles on it. There was a 77 Vet with 8 miles on it. There's a 90 ZR1 with 11 miles on it. There's 2 more Stingrays that have like sub 30 miles on them. These cars sat. And we had to regas tank them, re-brake them. The brake lines, anything was fluid was screwed. Radiators were screwed. Everything was screwed with fluid. So it took a lot of money to get those straightened out. So my original bid on that package was wrong when you take and encompass the recon that we've had to do. And I hope that this Camaro makes a lot of money because I needed a lucky card in that group to straighten it all out. But I'm learning me something. I'm slowly figuring this shit out. All right. See y'all later. Thanks.